Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making fresh cherry pie from scratch. I'm using a cherry pie recipe in the Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook. I think this is a fairly old edition, but so we're going to use fresh organic cherries that we got from Azure Standard. I don't know if you guys have heard of that or ordered from there, but they deliver to a drop location. You can go on the website and see if there's one near you, but it's fantastic. We're gonna pit these and get started. Okay, so my aunt lent me this cherry pitter taker outer. I don't know what it's called. I don't know where she got this, what brand it is or anything, but it works great. This is the first time I've ever done this. Here we go. I took the stem off. We slide the cherry. I put the top up so I can see it in the little hole there. See, you can see the top of the cherry there. Put it in the bowl and squeeze. And the pit came out. So you see I've got a few pits in there already. Take my pitted cherry and put it in my bowl. There's juice everywhere. Actually, I'm going to wear some gloves for this so I don't stain my fingers. All right, stem off. Cherry in the thing. You can see that top there. And squeeze it to the bowl. And there's the pit. All right, so we need 5.5 cups of these for our recipe, and I'm going to work these up. We got all our cherries pitted. I have about 5.5 to 6 cups here in this bowl. So I'm going to add my sugar and cornstarch and let that sit and kind of make a syrup. So I'm adding 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, and I use pure cane sugar. I always like a little extra. And 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. We just mix it together. That wasn't supposed to happen. I'm a mess. You want all the cherries to have this mixture on them. All right, so we'll set this to the side. I'm going to clean up my mess here, and then we're going to make the crust. 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour measured into this bowl. I'm going to add 3/4 teaspoon of salt. We use Redmond salt. It's our favorite. Minerals. Tastes good. It works good in baking recipes and in everything else, just on all your food. Just give that a little stir. Mix it up. Mix the flour and salt. Now, I have 2/3 cup cold butter. The recipe actually calls for shortening in this cookbook that I showed you, Better Homes and Gardens, but we don't use that. We use butter here, so I'm going to use butter in this recipe. And I did cut this into little chunks. Just use regular store-bought butter for this today. So I'm going to work this in with a pastry blender. And this did just come out of the fridge. The butter needs to be cold. Some people work this in with their hands. Some people cut the butter up tiny. Some people shred the butter with a grater. box grater. I haven't found that helps me work it in a lot better, so I just cut it today. This takes a minute, but it's worth it. Homemade pie crust is much better than store-bought. And this is the recipe for a double pie crust. So we're going to have a top and a bottom for this crust for the cherry pie. I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. If you look behind me, you'll see that it says 365 because my oven burns hot. Working in pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. So you just want the butter to be worked into tiny pieces. It'll work into tiny pieces, work into the flour. It'll still be kind of floury, but you want it to be mixed good. No big chunks of butter. I do have to clean this thing out now and again. He says to cut the shortening in until the pieces are pea-sized. And we're almost there with this butter. And I'll just work this like this, back and forth. I try to get all the butter out. I don't want to lose the butter in my recipe because that's what's going to make it taste good. All right, so if you can see there, got some pieces. All right, so next 4 to 5 tablespoons of cold water, and I've got a cup of water in the fridge. You can use water straight out of your tap for this if you prefer. Just make sure it's cold water. I did put this in the fridge for a few minutes. So you sprinkle 1 tablespoon at a time, toss it with a fork, and push the moistened dough out to the sides of the bowl. Repeat using 1 tablespoon of water at a time until all the flour mixture is moistened, and then form the dough into a ball. 1 tablespoon of water in this bowl, and I'm just going to work it into the dough. Another 1 tablespoon of water, just sprinkle it over and work it in. Push that up to the sides. These tablespoons of water go farther than you think. Number 3. So we're starting to get sticky. Number 4. Number 5. See this? Got this dough ready to go. 5 tablespoons of water. Just working it into a ball. I've gone ahead and floured the countertop. Got my rolling pin ready. I'm going to mix this dough. See, it's kind of sticky after 5 tablespoons of water. Mix it up into a ball and then work it out here. All right, let's see about this. Yes. One edge is just a touch short, not bad. We can just move that over. All right, let the edges hang over for now. Let's roll out the top. I think it rolls better maybe if you get it ready. So this top just has to fit across the top. It doesn't have to come around the sides like the bottom did. It doesn't have to be quite as big. All right, let's add our pie filling. So our cherries, sugar, and cornstarch have been sitting in here for about 15-20 minutes. So they just had to sit for at least 15. See, they've made some cherry juice in here. So I'm going to dump all of this inside here, inside the bottom pie crust. And I had closer to 6 cups of cherries. It really might be too much. I hope not. Yum. See if our pie crust fits. See, we do need slits in this, but we'll cut those after. All right. Stretch to fit. There's a little hole right there, but that's okay because we're going to cut slits in the top of this. I'll set that on the dirty surface. All right. Let me zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you see we have the top crust and the bottom crust. Let's just pull off the excess so we don't have a mess. tuck the edges. All right, so we've cut off the edges, all the excess. Let's tuck these edges and we'll do a fluted edge. I'm not very good at this, but we're going to do this the way I know. You got 2 fingers on the outside and use your thumb on the inside to just push the dough through to seal those edges and make it look pretty. All right, and let's just cut little slits in the top. To let the heat, the steam escape. Some people use pretty little designs. I'm just going to cut this one because we're going to eat it as soon as it's done. All right. So last, I'm going to brush the top with just a bit of milk and sprinkle sugar on it. And just a little bit of milk. It just dampens the top. It gives the sugar something to stick to. Sometimes I think people use an egg wash for this too. And you just beat an egg and rub it over the top. My huge bucket of sugar. I'll just sprinkle. All right, beautiful. All right, so this pie bakes for 50 minutes at 375. You can tint the edges with foil if you like. I'm out of foil, so we're just gonna hope it doesn't burn. All right, pie's in the oven. I'm gonna clean this mess up and I'll be back when it's done. Looks perfect. Still bubbly. You have to wait for this to cool to eat it. If you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make cherry pie, check out my other videos. Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the recipe when you made it. See you next time.